Dabo Swinney this week. Let's hear it.
I mean, obviously the first one, Georgia Tech. We know. I'm not gonna lie. Tech is a tough out. They're well coached. They've got amazing. They're well coached on defense, offense, special teams. I mean, how they did the fire drill kick at the last second to win the game against them, amazing. But you should still beat Georgia Tech. I don't care how spunky great they are. And then you have the week before where it's Troy. I mean, they have a cool name. I like the movie Troy. I think Brad Pitt was amazing in it. But that's a team like you should be stat filling, right? That's the team you should be stat filling. And I was just looking at it. It's like don't be wrong. They play in the ACC, so they're gonna just. I mean, 2022 they were 11-3. 2022 they were 11-3. 2023 they were 9-4, and 2024 they're 10-4. Like, and I get it. He doesn't go to the transfer portal, but it's a team that you watch that you can see they're missing something. And it's just like, and I know Alabama. I know it's freshman year, not right now, but when Saban figured out the transfer portal, it's like he brought in guys that he knew he didn't still compete to win championships. He knew like I have to invest in this. Kirby, Ohio State, Texas, like you see all these teams already investing in the transfer portal, digging in, and Clemson, they're a good team. They are. But if you're going to keep this guy here, I think you're going to be at this certain level where, because we watched them when I watched them the bowl game last year, they were the hot topic. They came in hot. Everyone thought they were going to be just that one team that's going to surprise a lot of people, and they've been so underwhelming. Not this year, but they've just been so underwhelming the last couple of seasons. And I get it, you're in the ACC, so you're not going to have this, this high pressure. But if you're Clemson and you want to win another championship, like you have this great core of players, you have this great nucleus.
That kid Klubnik, right? Kate Klubnik, is that the quarterback they got there? There's a lot of high hopes for that kid, right?
A lot of high hopes, and the thing when I watch it, I can't, and then I don't want to I don't know if it's him, or I don't know if it's his offensive line. And again, guys, you get in the transfer portal, right? You can get those dudes like the LV dude. He's a chicken and mashed potatoes. Get those guys from like South Dakota. Get those just humongous offensive line. Or by the way, I think I read that somewhere like Florida has like the highest like offensive line grades or whatever like that. Whatever. Pay those guys. Protect your quarterback. But like even Klubnik last year in the bowl game, like you watch him play, you're like, this guy's elite. And I'm not. And again, I'm not going to judge him against that first game at LSU because that was just an amazing game. LSU has a great defense.
Yeah, LSU's not a bad team.
Right, exactly. But now you play Troy. The Troy you should have just went out there and destroyed. It's just been you should have just went out there like, oh, this is where I do my 200 yards, 250 passing, do my 100 yards rushing, whatever it is, and you just destroy that team. And I just, and also, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to get into his comments, but some of his, he seems like he's out of touch in a lot of things with college coaching now in college, football. But I can't pin it. But I mean, if I'm Clemson, I'm a little worried. I mean, barely beat Troy, and then I was in the game. He was in that game at Georgia Tech. He could have won it. And I just feel like sometimes when they're playing teams, they feel like it's been just watching them. I think sometimes they think they're like the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Tennessees, the Texases, the Ohio State, and they kind of carry themselves out there like that. But they carry themselves with no sense of urgency. If that makes sense. They're like, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. But we've seen so many times where they don't do it, and then we're still watching. I don't want to say it's mediocre because it's not. They've got talent, but just they're not getting that next level.
That's interesting because I think that given the wealth of talent they have at quarterback, people are going to say they're underachieving, but it's also early in the season. I think that there's an opportunity here.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the issues about, and one of the knocks on Dabo that a lot of people that have talked about through the years is his lack of embracing the NIL and that kind of everything that kind of came with it.
Mm-hmm.
And him being like the last guy to know what was going on, like to get on board. And now you're kind of paying you're paying the price for that. But I think given that, the fact that he's kept Clemson, he's competitive is something, but these kind of performances against Troy definitely don't help, right?
Right.
They don't help.
Right. No. Again, if you had never won a national championship, I think you're fine, right? No one's gonna be like, oh, he gets us there. We're Clemson. We're not used to this. We're just happy. But when you win a national championship, those expectations they don't go away, and I don't think he's ever embraced that. It's like if you look at, I mean, Saban's the best example. He did it, right. He brought in different coaches. He brought in things. He brought in people like, I don't know this, but let me bring in these people that can recruit on that side of it. I can't do it, but I can coach. I can let me bring in people who know what they're doing on that side of it. And he did it. And again, I think that the part of that was the reason he walked away, because he's like, I can't do this anymore. But again,
you see that, man. A lot of people say that, man. A lot of people say he didn't want nothing to do with any of this, man.
He didn't want anything to do with it, but he still went out there and won. And but again, he was much older, and I respect him, and I don't think, and again, we're not going to see him, I don't think, coach again, which is fine. I think he's happy where he's at. He likes talking about the game, but you have a coach right now that's kind of in his prime and can like talk to these young kids, be that in a go to his university. Hey, look, we need to spend X money on ... because I have the squad. I have the team right now, but I need this, and this to make it happen. And that's the thing. I don't think he's gonna do it. And right. And you're right. They're gonna win 9-10 games. And if that university is happy with it, great. But they're gonna roll off a couple games. You're like, Clemson's back. But then when it comes time to the playoffs or the ACC championship, because the big test is going to be at Florida State. That's going to be your big test. You got to show up against that team, because you didn't show up against Georgia Tech. You better show up against Florida State. And then I think those questions are going to rear their head back again, because the next couple, they have both teams have cupcake schedules until that. So that's going to be very interesting when those two teams meet.